Hello, my name's Tim Rumball. I'm editor of Amateur Gardening magazine. Today I'm going to show you how to pot up some pelargonium cuttings I took last October. Quite late in the season really, but last year was such a strange year. Everything took ages to get going and then flowered and grew on much later in the season. So I finally took these three little cuttings off a lovely red pelargonium, mid to late October, something like that. Just pulled off little side shoots, took the base leaves off and stuck them in a pot of gritty compost, cuttings compost. Topped them off with a bit of grit and stuck them on a warm windowsill in the house. And as you can see, they've rooted and started to breathe some fantastic top growth. Quite clear that they're ready to pot on. If you're the least bit uncertain, check the base of the pot, and if you can see roots coming out the bottom, oops, and grit falling off the top. If you can see roots coming out the bottom, you know it's ready to go, okay? So what I've got for this job is 3 pots, decent sized pots. Each one will get its own pot. A trowel, some compost, just general multi-purpose will do fine. Some labels and a pencil to mark them. Okay, what I'll do is I'll throw you over my shoulder and you can see how I get on from there. Cheers. Okay, so here we go. Got 3 pots. I'm going to half fill each of them with some multi-purpose compost. There we are, that's plenty, down like that. And again, and once more. Okay, just tap them to settle them down a little bit. There we go, they're ready to take the cuttings. Move that lot out the way, we'll pop these up here. And I'll take these out the pot. You need to be careful at this stage. It's very easy to snap the stems, so if you put your fingers into the middle there, just to hold the compost in one piece, turn it upside down, squeeze the bottom of the pot and take it out like that. You can see there's plenty of nice healthy roots growing here. I'll gently tease these apart and put one in each of the pots. Absolutely perfect. They're just right for potting on, and that compost is lovely and warm where it's been on the windowsill. Okay, so here we are. See, we can drop that in. That's just about the right height. Might just give it a little bit more depth. There we are. Take that and pop it in like that. Let you see what's going on. There we are, just settling that into the middle and hold it steady. Okay, then grab another handful of compost, top up around the plant. Don't get too precious about it. What you're looking for is to get the plant settled and firm in the compost, but don't crush it. You don't want to break the roots off. You don't want to snap the stem or anything. You're just letting it to get those roots settled in so they can start taking up water. So that's one potted up. Tap the base just to get it settled. A little bit of space in the top to allow for watering. So you don't have the compost right up to the surface. You just take it to 1/4 to 1/2 an inch below the surface. There we are. That's perfect for that one, just the right height. So I'll pop a bit of compost in there. There we are. Just gently firm that in around. Give the base of the pot a tap to settle it all. A little bit more in that, I think. Lovely. There we are. And for this last one, I'll just bring you one a little bit closer. Forgive me. There we are. Right. Here we go. Lovely root on that one. I think I'm going to take a little bit more compost out of the pot so it gets in deep. There we are. Settle that in so it's just below the surface of the pot, the line where the old soil level was. Okay. Roots well tucked into the compost on the bottom. And just top it up with a bit of compost. I'll use what's spilled over here. Some of that nice gritty compost from the cuttings compost is quite good. These plants love free draining compost. They're fine in multi-purpose, and particularly at this stage they grow quite quickly. They use quite a lot of moisture, but they do love gritty compost. Be careful not to come too high up the stem with the compost. What you don't want to do is start burying the base of the leaves, the leaf stems here, because if you do, they're quite likely to rot off and cause rots to set in on the stem. So that's about right for that one. Okay, so I'll just tap that down. Then all these want is watering and labelling, and they'll be great to grow on a warm windowsill again up until May time. They should be a decent size by then, possibly want potting on before then, but April, May, it should be warm enough to put them outside. I put them in their final pots, a decent sized pot, pinch out the tops a couple of times as they're growing up, and we should get a really good bushy plant. That's about it. Just do some labels for these. 2, and 3. There we are. Just a tip. These plants don't like wet leaves, so when you're watering, it's a good idea to put them in a saucer of water and let the compost soak up what it needs, rather than watering from the top. If you do water from the top, use a fine spout and water onto the compost, don't water onto the leaves. There we are, that's it.